Meth in Maine. More people are using it now than ever before in our state. Good evening, I'm Pat Callahan.
And I'm Amanda Hill. Maine's drug enforcement agents say the amount of meth they seized in 2021 is 4 times higher than what they seized in either of the previous 2 years.
News Center Maine's Chris Costa is looking into this trend. And Chris, meth on its own is a dangerous drug, but what it's often combined with makes it so much deadlier.
Pat, that's exactly right. That drug is often fentanyl. Fentanyl is an opioid. It's extremely deadly. But methamphetamine, a stimulant, can be too, in a very different way. Drug enforcement agents tell us that very often people are using multiple drugs at the same time. And data from the state show that the combination of fentanyl and meth was the most deadly to Mainers in 2021. 128 people in our state died from that combo. That's almost double from the number of people who died from that combo in 2020. And now, people who are sober, recovering from using meth, are sharing how that drug changed their lives.
And then once I started using it, I really didn't stop. The high is just this incredible rush, this kind of, Superman type power. And then the come down is a very dark depression. I would say it brought me close to suicide a number of times.
This is Matt. He's asked us not to share his last name. He's worried about the judgment and stigma of admitting he's used crystal meth, a drug he has not touched in nearly 4 years.
After experiencing that crash the first few times, I was so afraid of it that I did whatever I could to prevent from crashing, which meant finding ways to use more and more.
So this is previously seized crystal methamphetamine. The availability has increased, 2-3-fold.
Maine Drug Enforcement Agency Commander Scott Pelletier says the same dealers who are bringing fentanyl and cocaine to Maine are now trafficking in crystal meth.
Those drugs, fentanyl, cocaine, methamphetamine, it's a one-stop shop now. This is a lot.
Crystal meth is more potent and addictive than the meth people can make at home using materials like battery acid.
The potency is very high. The addiction rate or the reuse rate is extremely high.
Drug experts say it's common for people to use multiple drugs at once. The combination of fentanyl and methamphetamines killed more Mainers in 2021 than any other mixture.
Somebody might think that they're taking cocaine or meth and not even realize that it has fentanyl in it, mixed in as well. And then that becomes really, really dangerous. It's like Russian roulette.
That's heartbreaking.
It's really heartbreaking.
You're not going to die from detoxing. However, the psychological aspect of that, the depression, will oftentimes be people's lowest event in their life.
Maine's first public crisis receiving center in Portland says getting someone from using onto the path to recovery can be difficult.
It's a very, very hard drug to establish recovery with or from.
But there is hope. The Portland Recovery Community Center has a group dedicated to helping people stop using meth. Director Leslie Clark says that group has some of the highest participation numbers at the center, close to 100 people.
So when those programs and our services are growing, that's a good thing because it means people are finding us and finding their way out of addiction.
Matt wants others to know there is hope.
They say that addiction is the opposite of connection. And when I'm connected with other people, I don't feel the need to use drugs and alcohol.
So the cities of Portland and Bangor offer free fentanyl test strips so that people can know if the drug they're using has that deadly chemical fentanyl in it.
Chris, why is treatment so tough?
So Pat and Amanda, one thing we talk about a lot with opioids and treatment has to do with medication-assisted treatment. You can use Suboxone or methadone to help wean down those cravings. But with stimulants like methamphetamines, it's not like that. A lot of it is behavior-based, a lot of psychiatry that goes into treating that addiction. Now, there's a treatment called contingency management. Essentially, it's like rewards, vouchers, prizes, even cash as incentives for people to have a negative drug test. But the federal governments are not funding that type of treatment right now. So Spurwink and the Greater Portland Addiction Collaborative are trying to raise money to offer a local pilot program.
Really, really interesting stuff, Chris. Thank you.